back with more of Real Estate Update and James Wedgeworth. Hey, James, I've been on Hilton Head not as long as you, but I remember 2008 when the housing market absolutely tanked. There were a heck of a lot of foreclosures on the island. Are we going to see that again as things slow down?
I hope not. Those are very painful memories to us. I remember in 2010, 1 out of 3 homes that sold on Hilton Head were bank foreclosure, bank-owned homes. I don't think that's going to happen. Let me tell you why. I was here obviously then, and in 05 through 08, most of our buyers were what I call flippers, investors. There were no end users. Everybody was buying to resell. And money was really easy from banks. Every single person in the world could get a bank loan. Now, the market is different today. Most everybody we're selling is end users. They're buying because they want to use it. The banks have been a little skeptical to loan money to what we call flippers or investors or what you want to call them. So what that does, that gives a floor to the market, because most people that buy one house, they're buying it to use either as a primary residence or second home. I had one friend that bought 56 homes in 05. 56.
On Hilton Head Island?
Yes, on Hilton Head Island, and obviously you can only live in one, so he was going to resell the other 55, and you know what happened to his other 55 homes. So I don't think you would see the crash that we saw in 08. I mean, I can't be 100% accurate on that, but I feel pretty strong based on the fact that most of our buyers are end users.
Yeah, and also haven't the banks been required now to kind of do a better job before handing out mortgages?
Yeah, they have. We've noticed that. We've had people not qualify, but
yeah, and I mean, there was a time where anyone that wanted a mortgage, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but could pretty much get one.
We call we call that, Allie, the mirror test. They held a mirror up in front of your face, and if you fogged up the mirror, you qualified. You qualified for a loan.
Okay, well, let's talk about the reasons. That's too funny. For demand cooling, why don't we see those buyers? What's different in our environment now than maybe it was in March when you and I think last talked?
Yeah.
What's changed?
Well, there have been a couple factors that have affected the real estate market. The main one is interest rates. They've gone from say 2.5 to 5.5 to 6.5, somewhere in that ballpark. So when that happened, our market slowed down tremendously. So it's kind of what I call the double whammy. Last year, prices went up 35% on Hilton Head, and then maybe less in other places, but that's approximate, 35%. So if a young couple's looking to buy a house and it goes up 35% and their mortgage rate doubles, you have what we call the affordable factor. It costs more to buy, and it costs more to borrow the money, so they get priced out of the market. So a lot of people got priced out. So you had interest rates, you had affordability, you had problems with inflation, and then the fourth factor is what I call consumer confidence. It actually got to, I think, an all-time low recently, where people were concerned about the future, mainly because of inflation, because you and I both know inflation robs us all, devaluing our assets, our money.
Right, and then the issue too is we get inflation, then the Fed raises interest rates in hopes of quelling or calming down the inflation, and then in turn, now I'm curious though, if someone's looking at a $4 million, $5 million home on Hilton Head Island, and their interest rate is going to go up if they get a mortgage, would that keep them from maybe buying right now or not?
Yeah, it will, because now what we say is about half the homes on Hilton Head last year sold for cash, but the guy that's paying cash...
Is that true, James?
Yeah. Now, but the problem is the guy that's paying cash, he might have taken out a line of credit on his existing home, or he might have borrowed the money on some assets. So, I mean, not a lot of people got $4 million just sitting in the bank. They got to go get it. So even though they may buy a house for cash, they're getting the money from somewhere. So that has slowed the market down. It's still a strong market, don't get me wrong. I use the word normal. It's more of a normal market than it is a crazy market.
Right.
But we're still selling properties that are priced right. But when the market's going like that, everybody keeps raising their prices. And then when it does like this, they keep raising their prices. So you have a delta where it's worth X, but they're asking X because they kind of assume that, hey, my neighbor sold X, his house, my house is better than his.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks their house is worth
I
more.
want to ask you this. If I'm a buyer right now and I'm seeing this trend, especially with the higher end homes, price reductions, would you advise that maybe I sit back and watch for a while and see if that doesn't continue?
Well, it could, but what I tell most people is you can be selective. Like, what are you looking for? If you find what you're looking for at a good price, go ahead and buy it because you got inventory. But there are some homes out there that have zero chance to sell because the people put the price way high, even though it's a very nice house. So that's why I say we're not seeing the bidding battles that we saw 3 to 4 months ago. But it only takes one buyer. So if if you're a seller and you get a good offer, then you try to work it out. But I've had people that put their house on the market, and I call 3 days later and say, hey, I just got an offer. And they say, oh, we were hoping you had 10. I said, well, I wish I had 10.
Don't get greedy.
Yeah, but we only have one, but this is a good offer. Let's try to work this out. So that's what I'm telling people now, is the market is different.
Here's another one for you. At the peak in March when it was crazy, you said, you know what, if you are thinking of buying a home and you have one to sell, don't sell your home without having plan B in place where you know you're going to go, whether you're going to rent for a while or be in that second home, because you may not be able to find anything. Is that still your advice?
Well, that's my advice, but the market the way it is today, most people can get plan B. The problem is 3 months ago, they couldn't get plan B. They can go to wherever they're moving to and find a house today. They couldn't have 3 months ago. So plan B is not as big a problem as it was 3 to 4 months ago.
Okay, next question is, we talked about when the market was calmer or quieter, you really needed to do the fix-ups in your home before you listed it, like, bathrooms, kitchens, make everything look modernized and up to date. And then at the frenzy point, you said, don't even worry about it. People now are coming in and saying, I can do this. Or if there are multiple offers on a home, they'll say, we can take care of it once we're in the house. What are you saying now?
Well, today you still probably don't have to remodel your house, remodel your bathroom. You got to remember that there were time periods back in 2010 to 2018 that every time I went on to list somebody's house, I gave them a list of things they needed to do. And people would always say, well, just find somebody to buy it the way it is. I said, hey, I'd love to, but I don't have anybody to buy it the way it is. You got to get it in tip-top shape to sell it. The market is strong enough now, you probably can still sell it without redoing your kitchen, without taking your wallpaper down, without replacing your carpet, and without painting most of the interior of the house. The market is strong enough that you can probably still get away without doing that. And if the market slows up and you get back to where we got 600 homes, guess what? Yeah. If you want to sell your house, you're going to have to do that whether you like it or not. But today, I think it's strong enough that you don't have to do that.
Well, what's going on as far as new construction on the island? Do you have any kind of sense of the pulse of that right now? I kind of just sprung that on you, but is that going on still? New construction, a lot of that?
Yeah, well, one of the reasons you have a lot of new construction is you have a shortage of inventory. People can't find the house they want, then they'll just buy a lot and build what they want because they can't find it. When the market slows up, there's more opportunities out there, so the construction will slow down. Of course, one of the problems we've had construction has been because of all the problems with shipping and everything.
Right, supply, yeah.
Yes, supply chain problems has driven the price of construction way up. So people say, wait, I can't afford that. I'm going to build in a year when timber goes down.
Yeah, and I wonder as far as remodels go, and for a while there, people were having trouble finding someone to come and do some remodeling or work, et cetera. Is that still, I know you said you're well connected, you can find people, but is that still an issue on the island?
It's a problem if you move here from out of state and you don't have a lot of connections to subcontractors. It can be very frustrating. Fortunately, I've been here 41 years. I've got great connection with a lot of subcontractors. So I just tell my people buy a house with me, I said, tell me what you need. I can give you the name of somebody that can help you. But if you don't have those connections, it's really hard to get things done because there's more to do than people to do it. So they're all busy.
You got it. Well, listen, it sounds like the market's still doing well, and James Wedgeworth, we really needed an update from you, and thanks a lot for coming on, and I'm looking forward to seeing you the next time in person, okay?
It's great to see you, and I know you're having fun up there, and this is a great service we have for the community, and I really appreciate WHHI letting us do this.
Always enjoy talking to you, James, and have a great rest of the summer, okay?
Thank you.
That's it for this edition of Real Estate Update. For James Wedgeworth, I'm Allie McNair, and we look forward to seeing you the next time.